The official campaign. There, the docks. With our half-elven Warlock, Blaze Soulfire. So when last we left off, we were given the mission to go and rescue the merchant. I don't recall his name, but I know where he is. And so we are going to head around there right now and do that. And just so that we're aware, I'll go around this way actually. Oh, that's right, we've got to put that on. What was this? Protection versus evil. This instead is going to just give us diplomacy and intimidate, neither of which I use, so it's mostly useless. I use bluff instead. I think that's right. I don't believe I have any intimidate. No, just 1 point in intimidate. Instead I've got bluff, and I have nothing really in diplomacy either. So, yes. As I sort of mentioned in previous streams, I had been curious to see what would happen if I played a female character. Because when you play a male character, Nishka in particular tends to act a little bit jealous at times. And so once you have Nishka, and in particular you then have Eleni in your party together, there's a little bit of rivalry between them, and then later on you get Chandra in your party as well. So I was curious as to what would happen. I haven't resulted in that. I haven't worked out what happens yet, but I spun up another character who I called Vicky. She's a half-orc as well. She's a half-orc fighter, and I'm making her a weapon finesse, dexterity-based fighter. She's eventually going to be dual-wielding rapiers, and I'm going for like a crit specialist. But it was interesting. I'm pretty sure this is where we need to go. Where was I going with it? Oh yes, I've started it. I haven't got anywhere to the point yet where I've met anyone. I was even tempted to make her a dwarf, not a half-orc, just so that I could see if Kelgar has a different reaction to her when she's A, female, and B, a dwarf. I may test that out at some point as well. But I think if I wanted to seriously play a dex-based fighter, I would probably pick an elf, naturally, because they're going to have the best dex. But yeah, I'm just mucking around with that, and I hope to be able to tell you within the next few streams. Well, it depends on how many times I stream today, I guess, but I might spend another hour or so on that character tonight and see how it goes and see what we can find out. I've just basically done everything at West Harbour, and I'm about to head off and get the first shard out of the swamp. But anyway, let's continue on with this. I am here. Well met. Is there something I can help you with? I'm here to speak with Hagen. I'm Risa. My father is Hagen. Might I ask what you wish to speak with him about? I may be able to help instead. I'm with the City Watch. I'm pleased to see that the Watch still responds so promptly to reports of crime. It's good to know that the Watch considers threats to one's livelihood as sufficient reason for an investigation. May I speak with Hagen, please? And out he comes. Yeah, she's not all that happy with you and with the Watch in general, but really don't care. Yes, of course, my father is happy to know that his pleas have been answered. The City Watch has honoured us with their presence, Father. Perhaps a celebration is in order. Be silent, Risa. They are here now, and they mean to help. Thank you for responding. Forgive my daughter. She has yet to learn patience. She's definitely a charmer. I'd be wanting protection as well if there were more of your kind running loose in the city. So what can I do for you, Hagen? I want the Watch to put a stop to the tribute demands that a local thug named Caleb has insisted from the merchants. Tribute for what? For all the services that he's been providing. You listen to Caleb's goons and you'd think the only reason the entire docks haven't burnt down is because of their efforts. That little bit there always reminds me of the Discworld novels, and in particular there's mentioned several times that in the city of Ankh-Morpork they have had guilds for a lot of different things for years. It started off with the Beggars Guild, and then you had the Thieves and the Assassins and the Clowns and blah blah blah, all these guilds, alchemists, etc. There's lots and lots of guilds. But the one guild that they never allowed was the Firemen's Guild, because they did try it at one point, and you had a bunch of guys that would just stand around on a street corner making all these statements like, gee, that house looks like it could go up at any time. And basically it was a protection racket. You paid the firemen to make sure that they didn't burn your house down. So yes, a silly little thing like that. And I've just noticed that my hit points are doing that wonderful little thing that I forget to do every time I come back from a save, where if I keep my shard in my pouch rather than in my normal backpack, it screws up your health temporarily until you fix it. So, what is it that you're requesting from the watch? Well, I've already refused to pay. It doesn't take an archwizard to figure out that wouldn't be enough. Caleb is bound to send more men to collect his tribute. I need you to protect me from them. Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you or your shop. Thank you, I'm not asking for much. I'd just like to run a clean business. Risa, I want you to go home where it's safe until this is all over. I don't want you getting hurt. I'm not leaving you here alone, Papa. I want to help if Caleb sends more men. No, and that's final. You can go home and stay there until I tell you otherwise. The City Watch is here to protect me now. Yes, Papa, but if anything happens, I want you to let the watch handle it. Do you promise that you will stay out of it? Okay. Am I going to... No. Damn it, I'm just not going to be able to fix that hit points problem. Yes, you have my word. Yeah, we wait for these guys to walk in, come up here and threaten Hagen. Caleb didn't like your answer, merchant. You will pay him the tribute or things will go unpleasantly here pretty soon. I will not be bullied. Caleb has my answer. I owe him nothing. Wrong answer, old man. Maybe a few broken bones will change your mind. Where's your daughter? Send her away. Did you? Not smart at all. You can find her. We can find her. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to her. Or something happened to her as well. Look, the merchant thinks the City Watch can help. I thought wisdom came with age, old man. You're all under arrest. Ha! Careful, boys, we're being arrested. Oh, woe is us. What will we do? Why don't you just go get yourself a pastry while we finish our business here, hound? Are you going to come quietly or not? Let me think about that. How about no? Boys, the City Watch is getting uppity again. Time to bring them down a peg. Okay, let's just resolve this issue. There we go. Put it back and we're all good. My hit points look normal again. And really didn't need to do much. Once Eleni cast lightning, we're fine. So, apologise for questioning the dedication of the City Watch. I thank you for what you've done. The Watch is here to serve. Good day. I could have tried to extort a reward out of him, but I'm not going to do that. I actually do want, even though I'm chaotic neutral at the moment, I do want all the good reputation that I'm going to get to make me into chaotic good. So I don't have a problem with that. I sort of chose the chaotic neutral only because I knew that all of the quests that I would be doing would be driving me towards chaotic good anyway. It just seems like it's a little bit hard to manage everything if you... I don't know, it just seemed harder to stay chaotic good if I started as chaotic good, but it seems very easy to become chaotic good. I don't know, it's weird. But that's how it is. So we got to head back I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go back to Marshal Cormac and tell him what has happened. I understand you were able to keep Hagen from harm. Good work. Perhaps the people of Neverwinter will have more confidence in the Watch and stand up to these criminals. There was a name mentioned. Caleb apparently was behind the threats. Caleb, the Watch knows him well. I've been looking for an excuse to bring him in. Moved on to extortion, has he? My sources suspect Callum of being Moira's man in the South Docks. Bringing him in will hurt her operations there. What are you waiting for then? Do you know where this Caleb is holed up, Lieutenant? We do. I can send some men over there now to deal with him. No, let them rest. The sweep through the North Docks was rougher than we anticipated. I'll take care of Caleb. Of that I have no doubt. Very well, the Lieutenant can give you his location. I want you to put a stop to Caleb's activities. He usually spends his time in an alley south of here. I'll show you the location on your map, and be wary. He's not the brightest of Moira's gang, but he can be brutal. So we know where Caleb is going to be. He's in this alleyway down here, and quite frankly it's a pretty easy fight. Just keeping an eye out, because it's not going to be long before we can't go anywhere without getting attacked by the various gang elements. Quick save. So let's talk to Caleb. What are you looking at, Hand? The Watch isn't welcome here, so get out. By the authority of the City Watch, you're under arrest, Caleb. You've got a lot to learn if you think you can come here and try to arrest me. Why don't you be a good little watchman and go back to chasing down stray dogs or something? Besides, you got any proof that I've done anything? I've been here all day. I was there when your men tried to collect from Hagen. So, I wasn't there. You're wasting my time and I'm starting to get angry. Enough talk. You're coming with me now. Then I guess today is your last day on the job. Come on, boys. Let's show this watchman who's in charge around here.
The land against you!
Draws nigh.
And I forgot to use most of my buffs, but that's okay. Positive I can still take down Caleb.
Let's see what I can do. Take that!
And his thugs. There we go. I think I killed one of them. No, he killed them all. Kelgar, you're getting too good. Right. Let's just do those buffs before I forget again. I really should put at least 1 point into tumble, shouldn't I? Because that way, at least, because this spell, if I remember rightly, gives you +4 to dexterity and a +4 to tumble. Even though I don't have tumble, if I had tumble it would put some points into it. Okie dokie. So, as I said, this was easy. We'll head back in here and talk to Cormac. Go. Caleb's dead. He tried to bribe me and attacked when I refused. Dead is he? A shame. If he was working for Moira, he'd have been some interesting things to tell us. He didn't give me a choice in the matter, I believe it. Caleb was never the smartest of fellows. You did well. We now have the opportunity to put a serious dent in Maury's activities and bring order back to this district. Unstable as he was, Caleb still had some control over crime in this part of the docks. Without him, I'm wagering that his thugs are now divided and fighting over control of the docks. I want you to deal with it, keep the peace. The district will see that the City Watch is here to serve. What do you want me to do? Our sweep through the North Docks wasn't as effective as we would have liked, but it did reveal the amount of control that Mora's gang has over the district. It also revealed the extent of corruption that has spread throughout the Watch. Many of our men returned to report either they had been ambushed, or more disturbingly, they found only law-abiding citizens. I want you to perform a similar sweep through this area of the docks, apprehend any and all members of Mora's and anyone else's gangs that you could run across. I also want you to check in on our guard posts. Captain Brelina has given me strict orders, Marshal. I am not to press the issue with our watchmen at this time. We are short-handed as it is and cannot afford to have men leaving us for Mora's employ. Captain Brelina has also charged us with cleaning the district up, and I mean to do just that. Corruption within the Watch only encourages the criminal activity. Why do you want me to visit the guard posts? A surprise. We may be able to catch a few working with Maury's gang. Only you, myself, and Lieutenant Rowe know about this sweep. We have the advantage at the moment. If we wait on this, Maury will have time to prepare and will encounter the same things as we did with the Northern Sweep. Am I to arrest our own as well, then? I defer the decision to you, Marshal. Arrest those involved in illegal activities. Mora won't find any allies amongst the City Watch if I have any say about it. I understand Captain Brelina's concerns, Lieutenant. However, we must purge the criminal element from our own ranks before we can effectively clean up the district. Very well, you have your orders. Report back when your sweep is complete. Cool, so that's easy to do. There's just a bunch of these outposts on the map. We are going to find groups of thieves, thugs, bandits type things all around the area as we try and do this. So on the map we have this guard post down here near the inn, we have this guard post here, we have this guard post here, and we have that one there. I seem to recall there may be some thugs attacking us here. Down here, unfortunately, we have this little thing where we come across Cora. There will be thugs at this guard post. There will also be thieves and thugs in this area here. 2 or 3 groups of them. And then there's a group of people here who aren't part of Moria's gang, but they're trying to smuggle something in. We'll stop that as well. And then there'll be the thugs down here. They won't actually be part of it, but if we come down here, we should now be able to find that merchant down there. It's a gnomish woman, I believe. So that's how we're going to play it. Just keeping an eye out here for thugs. Maybe they come out of that alley just there. Let's have a look. No, I was mistaken. It's probably later that happens. So we're going to have this little cutscene up here first, which we have to resolve.
Ladies, please, there's no call to lose our tempers over this.
Temper? I haven't even gotten warmed up yet.
Being able to keep a rein on your spells is a sign of discipline, Quara. Something you could never master.
And the instructors aren't here to shield you. Go on. Set fire to this whole street and this sad tavern, and you'll never be able to return to the academy, let alone Neverwinter.
As if I'd want to stay in that prison with you high-nosed witches for another year.
You're right. Here among the docks is where you belong, peddling yourself for cheap coin.
Wow! Someone give me a tankard. This is going to get good.
What in the 9 hells did I do to deserve that? Oh, thank the gods you've arrived. Do something. These ladies are about to start throwing spells outside my establishment.
Alright, let me see what I can do.
Whatever you do, do it quick. They won't be able to ferry enough water from the harbor to put out a blaze if things get out of hand.
Heatha, I think members of the Watch are here.
Friends of yours, Quara? Sent to bail you out, perhaps?
I don't need anyone's help to turn you into ash.
So I'm just going to be really direct here. If any of you cast spells here, you're breaking the law and I'll be forced to arrest you.
This is not your concern. Clara has threatened us for the last time, and we will stand for it no longer.
Yeah, if Quara's so superior to us, then I say let her prove it, without the Academy instructors stepping in to stop things.
The instructors? They never stopped me before. You always went running to them, not me. I've heard every word you've said about me. Always talking behind my back, ridiculing me, just because it takes you a shoreman's hour to cast a cantrip.
And you think setting fire to a stable while casting yours is any better, Quara? I practice restraint, not showy, excessive displays.
Yeah, Heatha is simply cautious in her craft. You're the dangerous one, Quara.
If you knew how dangerous I was, then you should have known better than to push me this far.
This street is under my protection. You cast a spell here, I'll arrest you all.
I would not intervene if I were you, else we'll be forced to stop you as well. We are wizards, you know.
Yes, wizards. From the Academy. But we don't want any trouble with you. Just Quara.
And I'm not going to talk about it being my uncle's establishment, because that's not right either. So... any fighting here means you're fighting me and all my friends.
Heatha, I don't want to be cast out of the Academy if we're arrested.
Very well. This isn't worth it. You're fortunate this time, Quara. Next time, you'd better not let us catch you outside the Academy walls. Come, Glenna. I think we've smelled enough of the docks for one day.
I didn't need your help. Those wizards had it coming.
Trading insults and spells isn't the way to resolve matters. You should have called the watch.
Those noble-born wannabe mages are just jealous. They don't like the fact that I can summon more power from my thumb than they can with a day's worth of concentration. They're always staring into their tomes and books, trying to categorize magic. It's a waste of time. It just is. And either you understand it or you don't. It's instinct.
So you study at the Academy?
Well, the thing is, I'm not a part of the Academy anymore. I quit, sort of, after burning down the stable.
Last, you should have thought of that before starting a fight outside the flagon, and the damage you caused before they even showed up.
It's the wood you use in the rafters. It sets fire easily. Sorry about that.
Sorry? Oh, lass, I wasn't asking for an apology. You'll be paying me back, you will, for all my lost business, for a tarnished reputation, and for putting me and my kin in danger like that.
What? I'm not working for either of you, ever.
What? What's it good for us?
I am. Now get out of my way. I'm not paying for a thing.
No, lass, you will. Or by gods, you'll bring down a fury from me like you've never seen. And not only that, if you don't, you'll be proving those other girls right. I don't think you're willing to admit you don't have discipline, restraint, or a sense of responsibility, like they claim to have. Besides, I doubt you'll be welcome back at the Academy.
Actually, I could use some help in my travels, especially from a sorceress.
You want me to help you? Fine, but I warn you, you may not be able to handle me. But if you want to take a demon by the horns, then fine.
I just thought of something. I have not used her in my party because normally I find most mages pretty useless, really, because they've got their limited number of spells per day and then they're done. But there is a little experiment we could do. We have, I'm pretty sure it was Sand here who had
well met again. And what can...
the Rod of Frost. If I give that to Quara, will she actually use it? And whether that means use it after she's used up all other spells, or even, you know, use it and then use spells when it's more appropriate. I'd have to fiddle with her her settings to see how she does, but that might be a decent
You
option.
call that an insult, goat girl? Even the tree worshipper could scrape up something better than that.
Goat girl? I've never heard that one before, Stumpy.
Ha! You're not trying. That's a nickname, not an insult. We Iron Fist call our own children Stumpy, you skinny bull. Ah.
Skinny bull? That doesn't even make any sense. Go back to your drinking, moss breath. At least you're good at that.
At least you two are easily entertained.
Amateurs.
Amateurs? Why, the spoiled princess thinks she's better than us, Kelgar.
A bold claim from an academy dropout, seems to me.
You two wouldn't know an insult if it walked up and bit you.
Well then, why don't you show us how it's done, fire hair?
Fire hair. Imaginative and biting, with just the slightest hint of wit. Is that really the best your demon blood can squeeze out, tail for brains?
My brains are not in my tail.
So, what are they, right next to it? If so, might want to loosen the back of your pants a notch, because even with the hole, they're obviously not getting enough air.
Okay, explain that one to me.
Well, she said your brains are next to your tail, which would imply that your brains are in your rear end, and that you breathe through your,
Okay, I get it, all right? Little witch.
Don't take it so hard. I had to explain it, which means the insult's a failure. But a tankard for effort, your highness. By my reckoning, the Flagons never had a finer table-cleaning goblin wench.
What, since your mother lost her job?
Huh? Now don't you be bringing my mother into this. You'd best be careful, you simpering little father's girl, or you'll learn a thing or two about Iron Fist honor and manhood.
Oh, you mean the two smallest things in all of Faerun? From what I hear, no woman could learn about Iron Fist manhood from you, Kelgar.
What? I'll have you know, plenty of women know about Iron Fist manhood. Plenty. They just all live up around Waterdeep. Or they'd tell you.
Kelgar, calm down.
Calm down? I won't take those words from some twig of a girl who doesn't know enough to choose the right tavern to fight in.
At least I learned my lesson from my tavern brawl, you fat-bellied little knee-high. Now, if you're done matching wits with me and coming up short, why don't you trundle back to your high chair and drink up your honor until it comes out the other end? Maybe later on, I'll come by to put you in your cradle.
Huh?
Wow, fat-bellied little knee-high? That's good.
Shut up, tail for brains. Ha! And here I thought mages had nothing to offer the world. Tunkin, another round.
Get your drink yourself, dwarf. Seeing as how you haven't paid for a single drop your entire stay here.
Been wondering when you'd give in and grant me free reign over your kegs. Anyone else want anything?
Some dwarves should never be allowed to walk the surface, little freeloaders.
Right, so I think what we're going to do then is we're going to leave now, and I'm going to drop out Eleni briefly for Quara and see how that goes. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, okay. We can't really see what's going on here. There we are. Praven, I heard you've been expelled like Gleaner was. Because of you, we were only defending ourselves. Defending, you attacked first. Everybody stop. Save your words. We heard you threatening our sister Gleaner at the Sunken Flagon. Our house's honour is at stake, and this will only be settled with blood. Okay.
Yes.
So, let me have a look what you've got as far as equipment. Armour of Braces 2. And a quarterstaff, and that's
Fall
it.
in behind me here.
So
Yes.
you can have that Rod of Frost. We'll put that down there for you. Also don't know what spells you have, so let's see. Acid Splash, Daze, Flare. Daze isn't too bad. Why can I not? There we go, Daze. Ray of Frost we don't need. Resistance is a nice little buff. Then we've got Burning Hands. God, that's a useless spell. I don't know why you learn it or why you use it. Mage Armor, it's a good buff. Magic Missile, of course. Shield. And Shocking Gasp. Then we've got Combust, Fire Burst, Melf's Acid Arrow, and Fire Burst up here. And then Fireball and Flame Arrow. Okay, I'm going to pretty much let you do what you want. I'm just hoping that with this Rod of Frost, you might actually use it in combat. As for me... Was that Quara dropping a fireball? Yeah, it was. Well done. And a magic missile. Okay, so that worked reasonably well. Only problem is we've got no healer now. Maybe I should have gotten rid of Nishka and had Quara and Eleni instead. But you do... Yeah, see, that's the problem. Just don't have enough melee in the party that way. Let's just go back into the inn and try that. Let's drop out Nishka. Don't need her as much. But then there is that other encounter. That wonder what happens with that without her there. So let's drop out Nishka. Hello, put in Eleni. Accept. Okay. What? Another fight. I don't ever remember having this many times being attacked by the academy. Let's see, is student, a shame. Well, whoa. Someone was... That's a lot of fire bursts. Okay, I need a healing potion ASAP. I think we're all going to die. Kelgar, can you do anything? You don't have any heals left. Oh, you've got that. They're basically all out of spells at the moment.
That's it for me.
Wow. What's going on here? You're Jillian's father. How did you find me? Oh, your power burns so brightly. It's not hard. Seems whatever there is trouble involves, you're here in the middle of it. They started it. Of course they always do. They will be disciplined. But you threatened my daughter in the sunken flag, and yet no action was taken against you. It's curious that even with all the academy tried to teach you, you have turned into such a monster. It is my hope that I will live to see you brought to heel, but it will not be this day, I think. But it could be sooner than you think. Come with me, students. Your lessons await. We shall meet again, Quara. I look forward to it. Who was that? That was the father of one of the students who fought in the sunken flagon. So we just got defeated, but we're all fine. He headed the house at the academy those students and his daughter were from. He's all talk, he couldn't even do anything to me or you. Come on, let's go. Right. Well... problem is, we used up a lot of heals.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I am listening.
Very well.
You really need to rest. I'm surprised we don't get kicked out for resting in the middle of the street, but anyway. Let's go into Sands and see if we can get some healing potions.
Back again.
I'm not with...
Studies too strenuous?
Oh,
Well then, it's good it was your choice. Others have not been so fortunate as being extended the offer.
Study's too strenuous. I didn't need to study. I already knew how to do magic.
Ah, yes, you are a sorceress. A natural.
Who is this elf? He's got a smart mouth for a merchant. Better watch it or I'll burn this shop of his down.
If you set fire to the rafters, you'll find the place will draw your energy out of you until you lie quivering on the floor. It is Vantine Scythen, if you are familiar with the historical codex bearing his name.
I didn't care much for history or the academy books.
Ah, then perhaps you may wish to hold your threats until you do. Now, how can I help you all today?
I want to see what you have for sale. Thank you. We're going to get rid of that and that. And you know what? I'm going to get rid of those darts because I'm not going to use them. I wish I could get rid of more. I can get rid of that. Yay. What have you got in the way of potions? I want some heals, please. Can I buy multiples of moderate wounds? I can. Beautiful. Let's split that. 5 for you, 5 for you. And 5 for you. Okay, that will do. I don't think he lets us buy multiples of cure serious wounds. No, but we'll take another one just to have it. Actually, I should put that in here for now. I'm going to switch back to that once we've done most of the tasks here. Oh no, stay there, do that. Okay, let's head back out. Right, yes, that was a minor little setback there, but at least we didn't, it wasn't the end of the world. So we're still trying to do our cool. We are still doing our sweep of the docks. So let's come around here. Oops. Let's buff.
What's going on?
And you really need to
What?
okay, so let's talk to these guys. Which one's the sergeant? There we go. So anyway, I told him to get another watchman to help him out and that we're not leaving our post. Then he says, everyone wants the watch to help, but they won't increase our pay. How's the patrol going? Not too rough, I hope? Not at all. Good to hear. Not a good time to get trapped in a dark alley, you know. Busy night. Besides, the man wanted me to play hero, no, but I hear it's been rough for the rest of the district, what with Caleb being taken down. Tamora's blessed me, though. I've got guard post duty. No way could you get me to go out there. I'm going to sit here and stay alive until my shift is over. That attitude is one of the reasons why Mora's gang controls this district. That's so. I couldn't see why I should risk my neck when no one's doing anything about the watchmen that are working for her gang. You know who the turncoats are? I've got my suspicions, but no proof. Why should I care? If the officers won't do anything about it, I'm not going to start. Still, if it were up to me, I'd take every turncoat and lock them up. Still, I'm only one man and it's not going to happen. Change has to start somewhere. Sure, just as soon as I'm given an order to. Otherwise, I'll just do what I'm told and collect my pay. Look, you don't have to tell me something needs to be done about watchmen getting paid to look the other way. All I'm saying is I'm not about to cause trouble. I can't trust the people at the top to stand by me when things get rough. Now, I've enjoyed our little talk, but you got rounds to do out there. Better you than me, that's all I'll say. So that's the first of our little chats. So let's come around here. Let's talk to these guys. Who is the sergeant there? There we go. What do you want? Busy night? Ah, yes, as busy as it ever is. Is there something you wanted? I'm on patrol, just checking in. So now you've checked in and can move on again. Good for you. Wait, you're the new recruit, aren't you? Yeah, I saw you over at the station. You looking to make some extra gold? How would I do that? There's a secret to staying safe during your shifts. Well, two. The first is to not go looking for trouble, of course. Pick guard duty if you ever have a choice. And the other secret? The other secret is to make the right friends. Some of my friends are really interested in not being seen. So interested, in fact, that they'll pay good coin to make sure of it. I could put you in touch with some of them if you're interested. You mean take a bribe? I prefer to think of it as life insurance. I stay out of their way, make a little gold on the side, and I keep living. If the same offer comes to you, I suggest you take it. Makes the job a lot easier, if you know what I mean. I've got an offer for you. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Let's hear it. You're under arrest. Come quietly with me and you won't get hurt. Doesn't look like you're going to be living through your first night on the job, and here I thought this was going to be a boring shift.
Take that!
Thank you, Quara. Gold pieces, gold pieces. Okay, so that's the second group. Then come up here. Actually, let's just save for a second. Do I have any? No, I don't. That's alright. Defensive casting, not activated. That was silly of me. We're not asking you to do anything violent, Sergeant. In fact, we're offering to pay you more than you and your men would make for the entire week, just to end your shift a little early. That's a lot to offer for such a simple favour. Why so much? Because we respect you, Sergeant. You work hard and receive little in return from the watch. Think of this as a gift for your dedication. I see even officers of the City Watch are susceptible to bribes. What? I haven't agreed to anything. Don't go lumping me in with all these other turncoats. I am shocked, even offended, that you would suggest such a thing. I am merely offering a gift to a hard-working member of the Watch, in gratitude for the security that they bring to this fair city. In other words, a bribe, which I would like to state again I haven't accepted. There shouldn't be anything left to consider, Sergeant. You speak out of turn. I do not need a lecture from an unranked watchman to remind me of my duty. As much as I appreciate the gesture, good sir, I must refuse your offer. That is unfortunate. You and your men will not be at this post at the given time, I assure you. Kill them all and dispose of the evidence. There isn't This isn't what we planned, but it will be far more enjoyable to spit these Neverwinter hounds upon our blades. Ding, ding, ding. Is there a head thug? Not really, so... The war's barely over and the Luskans are already looking to cause trouble again. I thought all their troubles with Raytheon would be enough to keep the Luskans out of our city, but here they are, crawling into the harbour like rats off a sinking ship. I'm glad you're here to back us up. You won't tell anyone about what was said before the fight, will you? Don't worry about it, you did the right thing in the end. And after what's happened here, you can bet I won't be tempted again. Good enough for me. Have a safe patrol, Watchman. I'll remember what happened here. So let's just clean up. No more over there. Yeah, you guys need to heal. Okay, so we have... There should be some thugs up there. And there should be... Oh, look at that. Thug, 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 thug. Now, I do believe that that one there looks like a spellcaster. So, you know what? You get targeted first, my friend. Okay. How are we doing? Let's have a look. What I want to see is where Quora, if that's how you pronounce it.
Let me lead the way. You follow behind.
Is up to with spells. Is that really 7 times she can cast that, 4 times she can cast those, and 4? So she's used all of her big spells, and she's still got a lot of lesser ones to go. Wow. That... Level 7 Sorcerer. Man, I've almost got to look that up, because that just doesn't seem right. NWN2 Wiki... Unless she's got some other thing that's giving her way more spells, to have 4 cantrips, 4 first level spells, but 7 second level spells doesn't seem right. Classes. Sorcerer. And what did we say, level 7? Spell progression. Level 7, she should be able to cast 6, 6, 6, and 4. Okay. That may actually be right with the fact that she... Yeah, I don't know why she gets 7 there, but hey, let's just roll with it. So it's not really a good test yet. So there should be, whoops, look at that, more thugs there, and again, that one's a spellcaster.
That will require a mere fraction of my power.
What are you doing, Cora? I didn't want you to physically attack him.
Nature will have its way.
Looks like she's magic missile.
Yes.
Yeah, she's down to 2 there, so she cast a couple of magic missiles. What is that? Melf's acid arrow, fire burst, and combust. What does combust do? Makes a creature burst into flame. Okay. Well, she definitely likes her fire magic. I'm going to give her a go for a bit longer and see how it goes. I think maybe. No, I still want to see what happens when she runs out of spells. Whether she falls back on that Rod of Frost effectively, or if she runs into combat and tries to start hitting people. That's what I really want to see. So that's why I'm not resting in the meantime. I don't need to. The only person who really needs to rest to regain anything is Eleni. In fact, I'm going to let Eleni heal herself and heal me. Okay. So there's going to be another little interaction here with these guys who are drinking. You can be really strict with them. Look at this, an actual watchman on patrol. How about having a drink with us, watchman? Relax a little. Thank you, but I have to decline. So if you say the whole loitering thing, he gets really uppity. I don't want to kill this guy, though. You can if you want, but I prefer not to. You're loitering. No, thank you, but I have to decline. Too bad. It's a special blend from Corma. Have been hard-pressed to find ale this good in Neverwinter. Well, now, I consider myself rather an expert on fine ales there, lad. Better let me taste that to be sure. We're on duty, Kelgar. You might be. I don't recall signing myself up for the watch. No drinking for us and none for my friends here either. Now, that's just not proper. Dwarf can't even have a drink on a cold night. What's this world coming to? The city has laws against loitering. Really? I didn't know that. Grew up in Cornwall myself. Only been here in Neverwinter a few months. Cornwall, that must have been a long journey. I've had easier journeys, I'll grant you that. Our caravan had a few close calls, but the guards saw us all through safely enough. Look, this is the first bit of free time I've had since coming to Neverwinter. All the reconstruction work has kept us pretty busy. It's satisfying work, but it's backbreaking. Could we just have this one night to relax out here? I promise we won't cause any problems. I'm going to do number 2. I'm going to bluff because I don't use that skill often enough and it's going to make me more chaotic, which is good. I don't want to get too lawful. My superiors are the ones being unreasonable. If I let you drink out here, they'll have my head. Alright, I know how it is. No trouble. Come on everyone, let's head inside and let the watch do their job in peace. So that didn't actually make me more chaotic. I've been told that using your bluff skill makes you more chaotic. Okay. So, another group of thugs here, and one of them, that one there, I think is a mage. So once again, I'm going to target him. She really has a preference for magic missile. That's for sure. Come on, Quara, what are you doing? Interesting that she's just standing there. So I'm just going to check her spells again. Let's have another look. Wrong one. Yes. This one here. So you've got no first level spells left. You can do Melfs and Fire Bursts. You've got 6 of those. And you can do some first levels. You've got Days, etc. So let's see what happens. I'm just going to keep pushing you until...
Fall in behind me here.
You can hail Kelgar for us. That'll do. It's not perfect, but good enough. Actually, I could just go and do that, couldn't I? Why is that? You must have a healing kit to use this skill. I don't have any. Right.
Yeah?
What's going on?
Yes.
Yeah?
Very well.
There you go, that's better, Kelgar. Let's just do a quick save here, because it's been a while. And let's head over here. We've got this other location here to check on. Evening Watchman doing the rounds. Yes, just checking in. I don't recognise you. You must be one of the new recruits. Just keep to your own business and your patrol will be over before you know it. Why would there be any trouble? I'm just saying it can get rough out here in the docks at times. Don't go looking for any trouble and trouble won't find you. Anything to report? It's been quiet here. I've got an understanding with Moira's boys, though, so it's usually quiet. An understanding? You really are new to this, aren't you? Look, the deal is we stay away from her boys, and in exchange, there's some extra coin in our purses at the end of each shift. It's a good arrangement, and as long as they don't do anything like trying to burn down a block or anything, everyone benefits. Besides, none of us are paid well enough to cross Moira and get everyone killed. We mind our own business, and her gang stays away from us. Your duty is to protect the innocent. My duty is to my family, and that means not getting myself killed trying to fight a one-man war against Moira. And the extra coin comes in handy. It's been hard living in Neverwinter. Everyone's still recovering from the last war. Besides, Moira's already got half the watch in her pocket. My taking money from her doesn't make any bit of difference. I'm going to use this diplomacy even though I don't actually have the diplomacy skill, or at least any serious amount of diplomacy skill. I'm just hoping that it works, because if it does, he will give the money back. And how would your family feel if they knew you had been corrupted? They wouldn't be pleased to hear it, but what can I do about it? I can't walk up to Moira and give her the coin back now, can I? Why don't you turn the gold over to Cormac? An interesting idea. More pays me and the watch benefits. I like the way you think. And with her men thinking I'm still on the payroll, I'll be able to tip the watch off any crimes being planned. It's risky though. My body will be floating in the harbour if anyone finds out. I would think that your honour is worth the risk. I suppose you're right. At least I'll be able to speak to my family without feeling guilty any longer. Now, if you don't mind, I think we're done talking. You've got a patrol to finish anyhow. So that was pretty good. Now, do you hear that noise in the background? There's a little crackle, crackle, crackle. That's because the watch house is on fire. Because technically we've finished that quest. But I want to talk to these guys because they're doing something funny as well. Keep it moving. We're already behind schedule. If you don't stop talking and help me push, we'd be there already. Need some help? That won't be necessary. We've got things under control here. Just, moving, that's all. Just moving our things. Moving, I don't see any furniture. Right, we already moved the big stuff. These are our personal belongings. Is that all? Why don't you let me help then? Thanks, but really, we're fine. We wouldn't want to trouble you with something like this. It's no trouble at all. Here, let me help with that. You're not getting the hint, are you? This is none of your business. And you're not getting the hint. Show me what's in the wagon. Fine, have it your way. Go on, look. Happy now? Can we go? These goods are illegal. I'll have to confiscate them. We're not out for blood like Morsgan, but we'll fight you if you don't walk away from this hound. Last chance. Turn it over or I'll arrest you. No way. I worked too hard for this score. I'm not going to let some hound ruin it for me. I've never fought a hound before. Let's see if you're as soft as everyone says. No, I'm not. None of us are. That was Melf's acid arrow from Quora. What was that from Quora? Days. Okay, she's starting to use her cantrips now. You really have that few spells left. Why are you not using more melts and fire bursts? I don't know.
This is most unfortunate.
It's just the one thug left. And I took him down. Woohoo! Okay, so let's have a look in the wagon. Take all of that. So there's a wand of stinking cloud, which we can give to Cora. We'll be selling those bullets and all of that stuff. Those bolts will sell as well. Looking pretty good. Okay. I'm going to... Oh, no, I'm not going to ignore the fire here, I guess. Is there a quick way through there? No, there isn't. It's here. So, we come down here. I don't think there's any more bad guys here immediately. Keep those buckets moving, men. We have to make sure the rest of this district doesn't go up in flames as well. What happened here? War. The bloodiest war Neverwinter has seen, even if Captain Berliner will let the men and I do what needs to be done. What do you mean? The good captain's been too timid out here, afraid to clamp down on this district, and this is what her caution has brought us. Moors strikes at us whenever she pleases, and now Lieutenant Rowe has been lost in his blaze along with a number of our brothers. Look, we're busy here right now. If you're looking for new orders, Marshal Cornick is over the Merchant's Quarter speaking with Captain Berliner. Who knows, maybe after this the Marshal will finally be able to convince the good captain we need to act. Now, I'm going to do this little quest, this little sub-item here, because there's a wolf. Just, up. Get rid of these thugs first. Come on, Cora, start casting spells. What was that? I can't even see what... use the wand of stinking cloud. Okay. Was that it? And used it again. Right. Maybe I shouldn't have given that to her. Melts acid arrow. Okay, come out of there, guys. So thankfully, it hasn't done any damage to anyone else.
Yes.
You can just heal me, thank you. That will do, thank you nicely. Okay, so I said I was going to come over here and do this little sub thing. Save that. Actually, I still want to check on spells.
You follow behind.
No, not really. You've still got 4 of these spells and 2 of those left. I don't know if we're going to have enough chance soon to see you get rid of all of those. So...
Very well.
Let me lead the way. You follow behind.
What?
I'm going to do the interaction, thank you very much. This looks like a wolf. It seems to have somehow wandered into town. Its fur is matted with blood. That animal, it's not a wolf, it's a druid, badly wounded. Is there anything you can do to help? I will see. Thank you for allowing me to treat this one. The blood is so thick I can barely make out the wounds. Are you from the Circle? The Circle of Mare, yes, but this is far from the lands we tend. How did you come to be wounded? It is far from my lands. I am a messenger only from the Circle of Swords of Neverwinter Wood, sent to find one of the Circle of the Mare. How did you come to be here? I picked up your scent, the scent of the Maiden's Glade outside these cities' walls, and against my instinct I tried to come and find you. In my animal form I was wounded by the city guards and left here. I barely had the will to heal my own wounds, or even shift out of this form, left any longer, and I would be dead now. It is a strange thing, but as we come closer to the mare, it becomes more and more difficult to shift from beast to human and back again. Why would you have trouble shape changing? My fear is that it is tied to the land, and if that is true, whatever comes from the mare, it comes for Neverwinter Wood as well. It was thought that the circle of the mare would know more of what strikes at us. I had hoped to find Vashni or Naven of the mare, but you are the only one I have been able to find. We found another in the Maiden's Glade, Khalil, and he said the circle of the mare was lost. But you would know it to be true or not. How is it you do not know the fate of your circle? I have been away for some time in my speaking with the elders. It has been over a year since we were in the same place, and as for the troubles in this land, we suspect it may be tied to this one I am travelling with and the shards that I am carrying. Shards? I fail to see how one could affect the other, but I am not one of the elders of our circle. I will keep hunting for others of the mare as ordered. Know that the druids of Neverwinter Wood have been forced to retreat slowly from their tended lands. If you would speak to them, travel to the Sky Mirror and use its power to contact them. Unless something has happened, you should be able to reach them. We will do that when we can. Thank you for saving me, Eleni of the Mare, and the one you travel with. With my wounds tended, I may continue my journey far from this city. Farewell and travel to the Sky Mirror. Talk to the elders of the the Circle of Swords, what you know. Okay, so that gets that out of the way. Right, so we're going to head down this way. Here we go. Again, normally I would rest up, as I've said, but I want to push Quara to her limit and see if she will start using that Rod of Frost. She's definitely been using...
Yes. Let me lead the way. You follow behind.
She's been using that wand really more than I would like.
Behind me here.
How many charges does it have left? 44! Wow, and it uses 3 charges per use. She's going to be able to use that a lot of times. But I'm going to take it off her for now. So that leads us over the bridge to the Merchant District. But we're going to come down here to this little thing with the group of thugs. What I'm trying to say, you miserable little gnome, is that we're going to break every item in your inventory unless you pay us money. Oh, you're looking for protection money. Well, why didn't you say so instead of yammering on about broken dishes? Let me run her through, boss. This isn't worth it. More will make us deal with her regularly if we take her money. Is there a problem here? Ah, the City Watch. No problem, officer. These gentlemen were just clarifying a few things for me. Nothing to worry yourself over. Right, just a little disagreement. Go find yourself someone else to bother, Hound. It looks to me like you're extorting money from this merchant. It's quite acceptable, truly. I have to admit that I've been looking forward to this day. It means I've made it. After all, they wouldn't be trying to take money from someone who was unsuccessful. I consider it a rite of passage. See, even the gnome isn't complaining. Why don't you just leave us to our business? What you're doing is illegal. I'm placing you under arrest. The law is what it is, and no one can ever accuse me of being anything but law-abiding. Perhaps I'll be able to do business with one of your rivals instead, gentlemen. You should have walked away when you had the chance, Hound. We're not going to let you get in our way. Let's take care of the Hound, boys. You, gnome, stay where you are. We're not through with you yet. Oh, yes you are. So, what was that, Cora? That was days. Okay.
Rip you to shreds!
And that was another days. And another one. And then she's just cast Combust, I think. Yeah. And another Combust there. That's got to be almost all of your spells. No, you've got a couple of more Fire Bursts or Melf's Acid Arrows. How unfortunate. Okay, let's talk to Raylene again. Hello there again, come to peruse my wares. Let's see what you've got. Anything that we can... No. Wanted to see what you had. Right. I wanted to see what equipment you had, Cora, that we could improve on. Braces of armor 2, and that's about it. Even that quarterstaff isn't anything spectacular. So let's go back to Raylene and see what we've got. So she's already got a braces of armor 2. Could look at getting a cloak of protection. Lesser gauntlet of ogre power gives +1 to strength. It's not really useful to anybody. Spike trap. Sell a few things. I should have kept that for Nishka, I guess. Can't sell that. Yeah, can't sell that. Yeah, sell that. Okay. Right, I'll give you that wand back in a little bit once I've proven what you're going to do when you run out of spells. But you don't seem to run out of spells too quickly either, so that's good. Robe of scintillating colours. What does that do? Days, unlimited uses, that's actually not bad. And displacement, 1 use per day, and it's got purple light. It's very expensive though. If I was a sorcerer, I would probably pick it. Almost tempted to give... if I give Cora the nymph cloak, because she is a sorcerer, so her primary stat
Let me lead the way.
is
You follow
charisma.
behind.
I'm wondering if that charisma is what's giving her extra spells per day. Anyway, I could give her a cloak of... a nymph cloak. That would give her an extra 2 charisma, but I really want it for myself. So I'm going to buy that. Switch back to myself. I'm going to buy that. I'm not going to use it yet. In fact, I'm going to give Cora that cloak for the moment, and I'm going to keep that one for myself.
What's going on?
Boots of striding, no. You've got lots of different ammo, and the Naga staff. What does that do? It's very expensive though. Blindness, no, don't want that. A whole bunch of spells, which really aren't much good to her because she only can cast them as a scroll. Amulet of Vitality 2 would give you more health. Amulet of Natural Armor 1 would give you a bit more protection. You don't want these Rings of Clear Thought because they give you an intelligence bonus. Ring of... yeah, I wish I could afford that, but I can't. Ring of Wizardry 1. Sorcerer gives you 1 bonus level 1. Hardly seems worth it. The spell battle Oh, it gives you a bonus to spellcraft and grants you to spell. Scarab of Protection. Universal +1 saving throw. Well, let's get a Ring of Protection for her. And we'll do the Ring of Wizardry, might as well. What did the purple dragon ring do? Light, immunity to poison. No, not worth it. And then let's get the Amulet of Vitality to give her some more health. So you can take all of these.
Yes.
.15 AC now, up to 49 hit points. That's a little bit better. Right. Let's head over. Was there anything else? No. Why are we doing this? That's better. Yeah, I'm not going to give her that one back just yet because I don't want her to use it. Let's head to the Merchant District. Oh, now we've got to wait for it to load. Yes, I definitely think once I finish this base adventure as a Warlock, I may come back and do it again as a Sorcerer or a Wizard. Just to see how much fun that would be. The other thing that I'm considering doing, I've started a couple of times as a Swashbuckler, because I thought it would be an interesting class, you know, a dex-based fighter. But in reality, that limitation on the armor that you can use, even though you have good dexterity, I just felt like I was getting hit so much. Because you need to be right in that front line. You need to always be there. And I was just chewing through healing potions and stuff. And because you're not a strength-based fighter, you don't have a lot of weight. And you really get penalised as a swashbuckler if you go over any sort of weight limit. If you go over about 50% of your weight, you start losing some of your swashbuckling skills. So it's really harsh on you. Whereas if I was going to do it now, I think I would just play a straight up dex fighter. So I'd build a fighter with high dex, strength of maybe, say, 14, so I get +2. High constitution, a little bit of intelligence, and then, you know, get weapon finesse, get 2 weapon fighting, and go through it that way. Like, I've played Rangers as well. I love Rangers, but I've played Rangers and tried to do dex-based Rangers, and it just doesn't work. So you've got to be really careful. I thought we had an encounter straight up here with some bad guys, but I guess we don't. And even though I've just spent a huge amount of our money, we're going to go down here and talk to Deacon and potentially spend some more. Because I like Deacon. He's cool. I liked the adventure that he was originally in, Shards of Undrentide. I thought it was really well written. It was interesting, kept me engaged while I played it. Never felt like a grind or anything like that. It was quite good. So let's talk to Deacon. I wish they had voiceovers for any or all of this. Deacon had a cool voice in Neverwinter Nights 1. It would have been nice if they got someone back to do either the same voice or something as close as they could. A customer, maybe. Deacon is pleased to see a kobold. What in the nine hells is a kobold doing in the streets of Neverwinter? Deacon not mean harm. Please do not kill Deacon. Deacon come here in peace. Seek trade. Deacon say that so. Many times. Deacon tired of it. Oh, Deacon say that so many times. Deacon tired of it. Sometimes wish people would just attack Deacon with sticks instead of ask. Deacon not go into dwarven caves. Deacon also not to blame if dwarves dig everywhere, then tell everyone else to get out. But Deacon give dwarfs many sorries. He know how dwarves get, especially women, ones without beards. Are you a merchant? Deacon is a merchant, yes. Confusing to Deacon, but Deacon figure it all right to sit here and people give him gold to take away heavy stuff. But what are you doing here? Deacon is bard, singer with scales, running from danger and writer of tales. Oh, he's got to rhyme everything as well. Maybe you read some of Deacon's works. Hard to find sometimes. Deacon have to look very hard to see where books are. Sometimes finds them in trash heap. You write books. Yes, Deacon write a few, not carried so much in Neverwinter, but here they are big in Icewind Dale. Of course, Deacon think not much to do up there but read, but he not heard so much about Icewind Dale recently, maybe on last legs, good as dead. Deacon mostly write epic tales, big stories of travel, but not like Volo. Volo is after quick copper. Deacon thinks not an artist with higher calling like Deacon. So you're a traveller. Deacon, little kobold but big traveller. Deacon been to Shadowdale, Waterdeep, Underdark, Arm, or Anne, however you want to pronounce it, and many mountains and forests and caves. Sometimes Deacon even stop and look at these places when not running and screaming in fear. Neverwinter next stop for Deacon, so here Deacon is. Deacon go where the stories are, as long as stories are outside. Deacon very, very tired of being in dungeons and caves with bad people that throw spells at Deacon. Oh, what did I say there? Is Neverwinter that much of a change from Waterdeep? Neverwinter a little smaller than Waterdeep, less squares and cubes, more shadows and hills, also glad land not moving like first epic story. How did you become a merchant? Deacon collect many strange things running around world, hard to carry. Deacon sat them down for a moment on Neverwinter Street to catch breath, and suddenly people start coming up to Deacon and asking to buy things from him. Deacon hungry, so Deacon figured that all right. His back hurt from carrying all that stuff. Anyway, good riddance to all that junk, Deacon thinks. Deacon not sure how long market will last though. Big troubles in area, very scary to Deacon. Deacon hears bad things in Luskan City. Luskan City smell bad, but easy to hide there. I don't know, the wording of all this and the way it does it reminds me of a character, I think, from Babylon 5. Oh, yes! What's his name? Zathras, the alien on the planet that Babylon 5 orbits. And there's a whole bunch of them. There's like 7 or 8 Zathrases that live down there. And each one has a slightly different pronunciation of their name. Of course, you can't hear the difference, but apparently there is one. And they sort of tended to talk in the third person like that as well. Looking to do any more travel? No, well, maybe. Deacon might move if Deacon have a little shop with a roof to keep out rain and cold, and no white dragons and no one to call master. When you first meet him, he is in thrall to a white dragon who he called his master, but you help him to break free of that, and you then kill the dragon, and he becomes your companion. But that's a different story. But Deacon doesn't know where that is, and Deacon try everywhere in Neverwinter. People not want Deacon to move in. They say Deacon is vermin and attract more kobolds, nest in the walls like rats. If I find a place where you can set up shop, I'll let you know, which of course will be when I get my stronghold. Deacon, thank you. Deacon not picky, even a few holes in roof good, not mind cold too much. He's small, could fit in tiny place. Even ruins is good as long as no monsters or golems or statues. Deacon not like statues, already did duty as statue before, not fun. So when you meet Deacon the second time in the Shadows of the Underdark, he has been turned into a statue, I believe, and you turn him back from stone, and you can recruit him then, I think. Or was that in the other story as well? I can't remember now. Are you interested in doing more adventuring? While Deacon getting tired of Neverwinter, Deacon not miss adventuring life. Deacon probably need long break before follow after big hero again with pen. Deacon likes collecting and selling things, gives him time to write. Between Undertide and Waterdeep, Deacon needs a little break from golems and mages and snake ladies. Golems? Deacon meet golems on travels, yes. So many golems, and golem nostrils flaring. Very confusing to Deacon. Deacon not understand why golems got to be so big, stomping around, smashing Deacon. Deacon think maybe mages feel very small, so make big golems to make themselves feel better. Tell me about Undertide. Deacon remember lots of winds and grounds moving and snake ladies. Deacon think he should like snake ladies part more, but was not much to like. Had to stand still a lot. Nose was itchy. That was when he got turned. That's right, he gets turned into in the Shards of Undertide, he does get turned into a statue briefly. I thought it was in Underdark. You meet him again in Shadows of the Underdark as well. There was also Dwarf Wizard too. Deacon miss him, make chest hurt thinking about it. Yes. Can't think of the name. I think it also started with D. The Dwarf Wizard that is the main part of that story. Let's say Deacon happy to be on solid ground, and that be enough for Undertide. Yeah. That's about all you can ask. Can I see what you have for sale? So, here is the interesting. This is all of the prestige class armors. So if you decide to become an arcane archer, or no, that's right, it's not here. I thought there was for Hellfire Warlocks, but there isn't. But you could be an Eldritch Knight, Harper Agent, Pale Master, Shadow Dancer, War Priest, Weapon Master. Any of those kits that you want to do, you've got specific armor for them. So I did Arcane Archer. I got to that point and just realized that the archery still wasn't good enough. Arcane Archer chain shirt, for example, it's +2 armor, but seeing as it's mithril, it only weighs half as much, and it has the True Strike ability that you can use 3 times a day. So yeah, it's not bad. You know, a Satin's Leather Blackguard plate, but it doesn't have prestiges for. Even though there's Duelist, the Duelist isn't exactly the prestige class for Swashbuckler, because the Duelist was actually meant to be someone mostly that was like a thief going to a Duelist. But you got Dwarven Defender plate. But there's no, for the Warlock and for the Swashbuckler, which were add-ons in some of the other adventures in NWN2, they don't have their corresponding kit in here. So yeah, that's a little interesting. What have we got in here? Just ammo, really, and a bow called the Lilting Note, which I think is meant to be, because it's got bonus to perform, it's meant to be used by bards. He has nothing in the way of potions, really. Amulet of Natural Armor 2.
What's going on?
Oh, why do you have to be so far away?
Very well.
Let me lead the way.
What did I give you as far as amulets? We did Vitality rather than Armor class. Yeah, you're just always going to have poor Armor class, really. Because your dex is so bad, isn't it? It's 14, it's +2, that's not too bad, but you just don't have any armor at all. And you really can't. So, are you a merchant? Why do I have to ask that again? Can I see what you have for sale? So, yeah, there was that. So I don't want natural armor. Ring of Fortitude, Protection, Scarab of Protection, no, none of that stuff's. And then he's got a whole bunch of, he's got another Lesser Magic Bag. I should get that and give that to Kelgar to make it easier to carry things. Right. I would like better than the lesser magic bag, because that one's a lesser as well.
Yes.
The lessers only reduce it by 20 or 40 or something. What is it? 40% weight. So they only reduce the weight by 40%, but that's not that much, even though like he can carry up to 300, which is a lot.
Fall in behind me here.
So yeah, that's a thing. Okay, I don't think we actually get attacked in here at all. I don't remember seeing any people attack you in here. So let's go back in and talk to... Not back in, we haven't been in here yet, but let's go in and talk to... We get to meet Captain Berlina now. There she is.
So, this is our newest recruit. Cormac told me of your unusual heritage, and he also told me you showed admirable restraint in cleaning up the docks. You are to be commended. I had hoped your restraint in this matter would serve to avoid further violence, but Moya's gang has forced our hand. Last night, they attacked the watch directly.
They put one of our posts to the torch like cowards, and they killed Lieutenant Rowe.
The lieutenant was a good man. His post at the docks was a difficult one, but he always made the best of his position. He will be missed.
Those thrice-cursed murderers now have free rein, but not for long. Captain, let me lead the watch down there. We'll answer fire with steel.
Those responsible for Rowe's murder will answer for it, Marshal. But force will not root out these killers. We will need time and patience. And we will need to rebuild our presence in the docks. If we are to bring these murderers to justice, we will need a new face in the district. A loyal watchman who can wield restraint as well as a sword. That is why I summoned you here. In short, you are to take Lieutenant Rowe's place. I think you are the best one for the job. The watch could use a touch of the arcane. One that Moya may fear.
I like that. If you notice, there's a gap there. That doesn't make sense. Why is there a gap there? It must have something to do with the way they coded the text in that, because it depends on what character type as to what it says there, whether it says touch of the arcane. I don't know what it says. I can't remember what it says if you're like a fighter primarily, but it obviously says something slightly different, and it's another word that can fit in that same space. It's very weird that it's done that way. It's obvious that they then had to do the voiceover twice, and that's not a problem. But it's just, yeah, it's weird. Like, I look at the spacing there and go, why is that done like that? Why is there a problem that they feel? Why could they just not have two strings of text that one or the other get, or three or whatever it is, different strings of text that don't need that space in there to make it work? Having been a developer for years, it bugs me to see that sort of stuff. I'm not going to use diplomacy because I don't really have it, and I don't think I'll succeed in the diplomacy check at this point, so I'm just going to go with option number 2. I made a pledge to the watch and I'll carry it out.
Marshal Cormac has told me of your interest in Black Lake. You may wish to reconsider your intention to go there. Perhaps you haven't heard of the murders there. Another nobleman has been killed. Gentry was but the first. I will permit only the most trusted of the watch to enter Black Lake. Serve me well, and I shall grant you access, but not before.
I accept. What must I do?
We cannot attack Moya's gang directly. They have no base, so we must target their operations instead. Bleed them of gold and men until they have nothing left. The situation at the docks is in danger of becoming worse. What was at first opposition from Moya and her gang is threatening to become all-out war. I had thought they would not risk drawing blades against us in the streets, but through our informants, we've discovered that they are actually smuggling in a cache of weapons to do just that. They're planning for a fight. And if the reports on the number of weapons coming in are true, then the watch will quickly be outmatched.
And my orders are...
Stop the shipment and put an end to the smuggling for good.
You are the only one we can trust for the job. Many of the watch in the docks district tend to turn a blind eye when coin is involved.
And they should be rounded up as well.
One problem at a time, Cormac. By the time we've dealt with the smuggling, Perhaps then the costs of the Neverwinter reconstruction will be reduced, which should allow us to pay watchmen their rightful salary.
Oh, indeed. Because it is the lack of coin, not loyalty. That is the problem. Is that it? Maybe your eyes are blinded by coin too, Captain?
You are the short-sighted one, and your blindness is that of a stubborn mule. This is not a black and white matter, Cormac. The docks are the only revenue source from trade we have. We cannot even patrol the roads for merchants to feel safe. So we need every watchman, even if only as a presence there.
We do not need those scarecrows. Those turncloaks are boils on Neverwinter's name, and they'll give every thief in the city an open door to our throat. If we allow them to become any more blind for every gold coin, we might as well throw down weapons now.
And what do you propose, Cormac? With the funds being diverted to reconstruction, the pittance a watchman makes is temptation for anyone to look for gold elsewhere. We must make do until reconstruction is finished, no matter what it takes.
I don't like option 2 here. I want to get rid of the traitors, so if there are traitors in the watch, we should arrest them at once.
At least someone is speaking sense.
Silence, Cormac. Enough of this. I think we can at least agree on who should tackle this matter. Lieutenant, you have proven yourself to us, and you have done so at great personal risk, as you are no doubt marked for death by Moya and her gang.
How reassuring.
Lieutenant, if you do not help us take steps to stop these thieves now, before they can gather their network, they will not let you go in peace. With Ro's death, I am certain they have us all targeted for the same fate. But stopping this operation may come with benefits. Whatever you confiscate from the smuggled goods can be used to build up the presence of the Watch in the Docks district.
And any watchman found aiding these thugs should be dealt with. We need no division in our ranks.
The smuggling operation is your assignment, Lieutenant. I want that dealt with. Once the smugglers at the docks have been brought to justice, I think we will need to fear little in the way of future bribery attempts. Although there are times when bribery can work to our advantage as well.
Our informant left word that the shipment will be smuggled through the back alley in the docks. We need you to go in and stop the weapons from reaching their destination.
Be careful once you're in. The back alley is infested with petty criminals and alley bashers. Now hurry. That shipment must be stopped.
Okay, excuse me. Now, normally, as I say, I would rest up so that Cora can get all of her spells. Oh, another cutscene, of course, I forgot that.
My Lord Nasher, I came as soon as I received your summons.
Ah, son of Al. We were just speaking of you. These men are from the Trade Guild, and I was telling them of the Watch's successes at the docks. And they were about to tell me of their renewed efforts to ensure new ships in the harbor this season, to compensate for the loss of overland travel.
The season has been a lean one for Neverwinter, my lord. The citizens will be pleased to see more ships in the harbor and the cargo they bring.
Quite right. Thank you for your efforts, Sir Naval. Congratulations are in order for you and the Nine.
My Lord Nasher, I shall pass along your praise to the Watch. I believe much of their recent success is the result of our new recruits.
So be it, Naval. After the war with Luskan and the Plague, it is good we can finally turn our attention to where it belongs. And the certain matter of back taxes owed at the harbor.
Of course, my Lord Nasher. With your leave, I will return to my duties.
You may go, Naval. After all, the Guild and I have much to discuss.
I think there might even be another cutscene. No? Guess not. I thought there was another one with Garius. But there isn't. Okay, so there is another merchant in here, but really not worth the effort. He only really sells crafting supplies. We need to head back here. If we had Mishka in our group, we would also have another little encounter. We would have already had it, actually. Just along the road here that runs beside the watch house. With one of Nishka's old companions. It's almost tempting to go and put her back in our group just so that we can do that, but I don't really see it being hugely useful. So I think I'll just keep going as is. Oh, no, here's the other.
Come out of the shadows. I have no patience for your hostile tricks.
Surely you understand my caution. The House-Tower has heard of your troubles and the involvement of the little flame-haired sorceress we have heard so much about. Our sympathies. We even heard a rumor that she is fighting the rest of your students on the streets of Neverwinter. A terrible state of affairs.
The actions of those children are no concern of mine. They have been punished. But this girl, Quara, she insulted my daughter and threatened to kill her. Tried to provoke her into some filthy tavern brawl in the Neverwinter docks. And that I will not abide.
But these crimes this girl Quara has committed, surely you have told the Nine what has transpired.
The Nine have their hands full with politics and troubles at the docks. They will not help, and especially with my house out of favor with Nasher. This is something I wish to handle myself.
Yourself? And yet you have contacted the House-Tower about this matter. It is strange you would summon us. We are not welcome in Neverwinter, and never in the Academy grounds.
If you aid me, I will aid you. Neverwinter need not be closed to you and your school. I could promise you students, disciples, even slaves.
And what is it you wish done?
I wish to hear Quara scream. To feel what it means to be burned by her own power. I want Quara to suffer.
To turn a sorcerer's power against them. It is an old technique, as old as Ilfarn itself. But I think you will find we are not strangers to this art.
Right, well I haven't actually seen that one before. I know I've seen her, but I don't recall having seen that little cutscene, but that's because I've never really used Quora much. So maybe I hadn't had her in my party enough to get to this point where they were going to do that. Ah, the next cutscene.
We came at once when we received your summons, Lord Garius. At such distances, I did not realize your aspect could...
Shadows grant many gifts, Torio, but time is short. And the longer we speak, the greater the chance of detection. Torio informed me of your troubles in infiltrating Blacklake Lawn, so I am sending assistance.
Has she?
The Sea Ghost sails from Luskan to the docks of Neverwinter, carrying allies of our cause.
Allies, my lord?
Yes. I have dispatched agents to assist your infiltration of Blacklake, Torio. Unless you disagree.
Not at all. But I had hoped for the chance to see to the matter personally, without...
I only need more time, my lord. I will find a way past Blacklake's walls.
No, Lorne. You will be needed elsewhere to deliver a message for me to our other allies to the east.
I could spare one of the Circle of Blades, my lord. They are eager for work, both in infiltrating Blacklake or sending word to the orcs.
No, it is not an assassination I need, Lorne. Only your presence. You will be escorting some of our priest allies, who, like the orcs, require a more... personal touch.
We are sending the Shadow Priests to Old Owlwell?
As for you, Torio, watch for the Sea Ghost. I shall be in contact with you shortly before its arrival.
Quite a bit of foreshadowing there. We don't even know about Old Owl Well yet. Okie dokie, oops. So I'm wondering how soon... Ooh, look at that. Thugs. Let's head over that way. But I was wondering how soon we would have trouble from that hostile mage. So the sea owl hasn't docked yet. None of those. That guy at the back might be a sorcerer. No, maybe not. But
with eternity.
He'll know.
what are you doing, Cora? Magic missile, because I gave you that ring, which allowed you to cast one more first level spell. Oh, that's right, there's some behind us as well. Cora's down. Whoa! Wasn't paying attention. Normally I'd do that level up straight away, but I want to finish this battle first and let Cora recover, at least marginally. And let's just pick up all this loot. Doesn't really matter, but right. Save. Level.
Yes.
I know I thought about doing Dex just to get it one more point will get him to +2 dexterity, but I don't think he really needs it, so we'll go to strength, which is the only real thing that he needs at this point. I do recommend that he do whatever he wants with that. What skills? Greater weapon focus, great sword. That gives an additional +1 to hit. I'd also like improved critical for the great sword, might be a better option. We already did weapon specialization, didn't we? So let's do improved crit greatsword, I think. No, it's power critical, so no, I want improved critical. Where is it? Improved critical greatsword. There we go.
Okay. Let me lead the way. You follow behind.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Charisma is the best bet there. Do whatever you want there. And let's see now. No more first level spells. No more seconds. No more thirds. But we can pick some fourth levels. So we really want... I think she's done mostly evocation or conjuration, if I remember rightly. Evocation, evocation, conjuration, transmutation, conjuration, evocation, abjuration, evocation. Wall of Fire might be good. What are these all do? These are all conjurations. $1d6 per caster level. Wow. That would be 8d6 each one. But they're only a single person. I'd like something that can do damage to multiples. Lesser Missile Storm? That really sounds like it would be good. One missile per caster level. And then there's Ice Storm, 3d6 bludgeoning and 2d6 cold, plus a extra 1d6 per every 3 levels of the caster. It's really a toss-up between those two at the moment. I also like Evard's Black Tentacles, because they hang around for a while, is the good thing about that one. Creates 1 to 4 tentacles. Each capable of doing 1d6 plus 4 points of bludgeoning damage if any tentacle attacks. No, I think we'll start with the lesser missiles first, and we'll add Ice Storm and the tentacles later as we get the opportunity. See how that goes. We are going to rest up after this, so she can get back all of her health and all of her spells. We still haven't really actually worked out whether she's going to use that Rod of Frost or not. But then again, at the moment, she really hasn't run out of spells, despite everything we've done. Actually, we need to go back here. Actually, no, we don't need to go back here and do anything, except maybe put that on the hotbar in case I'm going to be doing something. But for you, we need to work out what new spells you're going to get. So you get a new 3rd level, which, you know what? I'm going to get rid of that. It's really, if I had a cleric instead, I'd be using them rather than this silly druid. But I seriously think that we make her just the healer. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the ability to... Clerics have this ability, they can turn any spell that they have into a healing spell of the same level. So they could have different 1st level spells and then just instantly convert that 1st level spell into a Cure Light Wounds because they need to. But Druids, unfortunately, don't do that. Druids change their spells into monster summons, summon creature. And that really doesn't work as well for me. I really wish there were more better. See, Healing Sting, what did that do? Deals 1 to 12 points of damage, plus 1 per caster level to a living creature, and gain and equal amount of hit points if you make a successful melee touch attack. The Healing Sting cannot give you more hit points than the normal full total. Excess hit points are lost. So that would be good for her to heal. Body of the Sun is about the only other thing there that's any real good, I think. Lesser Restoration. Oops. Lesser Restoration, that removes all basically debuffs. Reduce animal, resist energy, summon creature. You know what? I'm going to leave 1 there. I'm going to get rid of all of these and make those Healing Stings. There we go. So we're turning her into a healer, whether she wants to be or not.
Fall in behind me here.
Finally my level. What goodies do we get? So we're going to remain a Warlock. We're going to up the decks one more. We are going to buff concentration, lore, spellcraft. Now, let's see, we don't get any more of those, but we do get one more of these. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because Brimstone Blast is good. It does extra fire damage, which lasts multiple rounds. Brimstone Blast deals fire down. Any creature struck by that must save a reflex, catch on fire per round until the duration expires. The fire damage persists for one round per 5 class levels you have. So it would be 1 round now, but once I get to level 10 it'll be 2 rounds. A creature burning this way never takes more than 2d6 points of fire damage in a round, even if it's been hit by more than 1 Brimstone Blast. So it doesn't help you much if you attack the same creature twice and it burns on the second round. It won't get any of the burn from the second hit in that second round. It'll only be getting it from the first. The other one is Hellrime Blast. The Shadowed Blast is blinded. So that's another like debuff one. Or there's Hellrime Blast. That doesn't stack, but that does a penalty to dexterity for 10 minutes, whereas this blinded for 1 round, giving it a 50% chance to miss in combat and removing any dexterity bonuses to AC, adding an additional -2 penalty to AC, and causing it to move at half speed. If that lasted for more than 1 round, that would be really good. I don't want Charm, I don't want Curse of Despair, because it's permanent. What's the point? I don't get that one. This one here racks pain through the limbs of a single target within 50 feet. Though the sieges are not powerful enough to immobilize the creature, they do reduce its movement by 30%. Takes a -3 to all attacks. It lasts for 3 rounds. And a successful save negates the effect. That's just useless then. Flee the Scene allows us to increase our movement speed and attack rolls and dodge for 30 seconds so that we can potentially get out of battle, but it's a good short-term buff if you look at it that way, but it doesn't last long enough really. The Dead Walk summons undead skeletons for 1 hour per level. If I was into that sort of thing, that would be really good, but I don't know. Voracious Dispelling, so this attempts to strip all magical effects from a single target. This can be really good in combat against mages to drop their defenses. And then Walk Unseen to become invisible. I have used that one before, but I find that I just don't use it enough. I should just become invisible and walk right up to people, but I don't need to be in the front line. You know, I don't want to be in the front line is the main thing. I've never used it before, but I'm thinking the Beshadowed Blast might be a little better. This gives them a dexterity penalty for 10 minutes, but they're not going to last long enough. They're not going to be around for 10 minutes. And they do have a save that drops that, whereas this one is still a Fortitude save, but they get blinded for 1 round. That blinding them for 1 round, if I can keep hitting them, they stay blinded, assuming they continue to fail the save. So I think I'm going to do that more than anything. So yeah, I'm happy enough with that. I'm not going to change any of this. Well, hang on a second, I'm not going to be using Draining Blast anymore. Draining Blast slows them and makes them a -1 penalty to attack rolls, AC, and reflex saves. I can't use both Draining Blast and Beshadowed Blast at the same time. So if there was something else here that I wanted to use, such as Eldritch Spear, but I don't think I can use Eldritch Spear and Eldritch Chain at the same time so that it would be long distance. So I'm better off looking at something like entropic warding, where that gives me another buff that protects me from arrows and such, which is probably not a bad idea. Or I could get something like See the Unseen, which allows me to see invisible, or Devil's Sight, which can see into darkness and magical darkness, but we don't do that enough. And then even darkness itself, that's a good buff to... it's a good little spell. I've used that a little bit in Sword Coast Legends. I've been playing a tiefling sorcerer, or tiefling wizard, and tieflings have a natural ability in that. I don't think they have it in this, but in that they have a natural ability to create a darkness spell, a bit like the drow do. And I found that dropping that darkness spell on an opponent before then just hitting them with stuff works really well. But it only really works on, one creature. Okay, it's 20 foot across radius, which is what, 4 or 5 meters. But, and any creature in that area is going to, have any, be debuffed while they're in that area. But I think I would much rather, of course, I could use Beguiling Influence. It's only really good for making my buff, diplomacy, and intimidate checks better for 24 hours, but it's a buff nonetheless, and it's pretty minor. No, I'm going to get rid of Draining Blast. Leaps and Bounds is almost useless to me as well at the moment, and I'm not using... I have been using that, but all it really does is make my spellcraft a little bit better, which, let's drop that. So all we're having from first level now will be buffs, and I'm going to take the Entropic Warding because it does protect us from ranged attacks, which include arrows, magical arrows, and Melf's Acid Arrow, Raise and Enfeeblement, and so forth. So basically most attacks and most range attacks and magical attacks have a 20% miss chance. Additionally, I gain a +4 bonus to move silently and hide, which I'm not going to use. And it lasts for 60 seconds per caster level. That buff doesn't last that long. Damn it, I wish it was more than that. I can cast it as often as I need to, though, so it's not really a big deal. Yeah, I'll take it. I've used it before. It's not too bad. Okay. So now I've got to reset up. So Eldritch Chain with Beshadowed Blast is there. And then back here now we also have Entropic Warding. So I'm going to make that my first buff there on the 0, just so that I can hit 0 all the time and just renew that one. And then they've got the other 3, and then there's that ability there that I've got as well. I'm never going to do Beshadowed Blast without doing Eldritch Chain, so that's good. And I get a feeling... No, not yet. Next level. Next level, because of the Fey power, the level and DC for enchantment spells and Warlock invocations is increased by 1. So it basically thinks that as far as all of the calculations on my Warlock, it considers me a level 9 Warlock, not a level 8. Which means, the main thing is that Eldritch Chain, once I then get to level 9, as a real level 9 Warlock, it will consider me level 10, which it will then jump to 2 extra. So the chain will hit 3 targets, not the 2 it's currently doing. So that will be good once I get one more level. Okay, so we've done all that. Let's rest.
What's going on?
And just, what are you, scared of something? Just making sure that she's got all of her buffs set up and running from the start. puppy girl is behind me playing on the bed, so you may hear some growls and things. Okay, buff, 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 buff. Oh, hang on, am I buffing her? Wow, I am. I think I buffed her for something. Oh no, these. No, what am I talking about? These do only ever work on me. I can't buff anyone else, except maybe this last one. Okay, so I'm all buffed. Cora's all buffed. Where were we going? What were we doing? Ah, the weapon smugglers, of course. So we saw these bad guys here. We decided to take them out. Let's just keep an eye out here for... Oh, we missed it. We missed some loot. Negative energy trap. Gold pieces. There will be a boat in this slot of the dock before too long. That will be the boat that was mentioned in the cutscene before. It's full of baddies from Luskan, and we will have to take them out. Or at least kill the guys as they get off the boat. It's showing some spots where there are potentially bad guys. No, they may be just the exits. That's alright. Anything down there? No. How are we doing? No red over that way, no red over this way. So where we need to go is down this way. It's down the back corner. There's going to be a little cutscene interaction-y thing with a beggar child down here, I think. Yep, there he is. So let's just do that as well.
Don't think you're gonna talk your way out of this one, Wolf. This is our territory, and your little army of beggar children has to pay its due.
Us kids are just sticking together, trying to make a living. But we don't bow to no one.
You're going to work for us now, boy.
Please, Da, don't beat me. I promise I won't drop the basket again.
What?
I try my best, honest I do. Just don't beat me like Emma. She can barely walk on that leg now.
Look at the poor boy. Someone ought to...
It's not like that at all. This boy is well, he's a thief.
Let the boy go.
Don't tell me you believe him.
Dropping a basket is wrong, he tells me. You can get a good thrashing for that, like most everything.
What are you planning to do to this boy of yours?
I'm gonna lie. It's gonna make me more evil though. Doesn't matter.
It's so sad. She loved to run, but she broke a pot. And you don't do that in our household. No, sir.
It's really not like that at all. He's playing you all for fools.
I'm not going to stand by and watch you hurt this child. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
We'll talk again, Wolf. This isn't over.
That's right. You run. Are you all right, lad?
I'll be fine, thanks to you, kind strangers. Especially you.
And by that he means me. Let me just double check. Did that push me? Oh no, towards chaotic. Well, that's good. That's what I wanted. Let's have a look where we're at. 1667. So that's going to go eventually up to 100, or get, it's going to go up high. So we'll be chaotic good before too long. But we're keeping, because some of the stuff we do also makes us more lawful, which pushes this number up. The chaotic part shifts your alignment towards chaotic, which makes it smaller, I think. So we want that number to be as low as possible. It will eventually warn us if we get... Ooh, what is that strange line running all through there? There it is, and there it isn't, and there it is again. Some sort of visual glitch. Probably due to my enchantments. Right. Back alley is where we need to go. I'm going to save as soon as we get in here. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. This area is fairly easy, so let's just do a quick save because there is all of these thugs and city watchmen right here. This area is fairly easy. You come across a lot of different groups of thugs, and they generally have at least one spellcaster in support. So let's save back. Oh, we want a capital B there. There we go. Resume. So let's come up to that. Yeah, they generally have at least one spellcaster in support, so I will be doing my best to take those out as quickly as possible. And damn it, we lost our buffs. So after this first, maybe we'll have a battle here, but let's see. We'll have to remember to rebuff. I forgot about that. Okay, you've been most helpful, Watchman. Consider this gold a gift from friends, something to show you our appreciation for all your work. Well, we're just doing our duty, keeping the peace. That's what I like to hear. Remember, let no one past you. It's for their own protection. Don't worry, we'll keep our eyes open. Okay, I can do my buffing there right now. And then, this is a pain because we've cast those before. So that's wasting one of those spells per day, but that's alright.
Dear John,
Future corpses.
Future corpses indeed. So we'll do a quick save, and we're ready to rock and roll. Let's talk to this watchman. Stop right there. This area is closed. Oh, sorry, you didn't notice the uniform. How are things going here tonight? Things are just fine, so we won't be needing any extra watchmen tonight. Why don't you go find somewhere to relax for your shift? We won't say anything. That's kind of you, but I have things to take care of here. Look, I'm trying to be nice. We don't need you here. I'm sure Cormac or Berlina can find other duties for you tonight. Are you actually going to try and stop me from entering? Starting to get the picture, are you? You're not getting through. Try to stop me and I'll have to arrest you. Is there any other options? I don't really have Intimidate. I gave you your chance and now I'll have to deal with you. I'll just report that you were working for Moro. And I had to stop you. You're under arrest for obstruction and taking a bribe. You're making a mistake. Come on, man, let's see how well the Watch has been training new recruits. Look. Do. Zap. Okay, they're all done. Well, that's good. Okay, let's clean up that. 16 gold, that's all. Right. Let's get a move on. I don't want to waste the enchantments that we've got, particularly on Cora. I can renew mine anytime, but she does have a limit on how many spells she can cast. We do have places where we can rest up, so it's not a huge problem. We also have to be careful because I think, yep, there we go, we get attacked from thugs. Now, that one there is a spellcaster, so I'm going to pay particular attention to him. And Cora did as well, thank you very much, although he got a spell off before we could do anything about it. And now I'm going to concentrate on the archers in the background. Wow, that was that lesser missile storm. And that's all of them. Well done. Okay. It's not huge amounts of loot here, and none of it's super spectacular, but it's not too bad. I don't think there was anything up around that way that was worth looking at. There might be a chest in someone's backyard, or a crate in someone's backyard with... Yeah, there's a barrel just there. I'll have a quick look. As I said, I really don't want to take too long doing any of this stuff because I know some of these enchantments are going to wear off. Stuff we can sell later on. It's just quick save. I'm going to be doing a few quick saves along the way here because, as I said, there are a few encounters Just can't remember if there's one here. Yes, there is. I thought there was some around there. That looks like their spellcaster.
Prepare to become one with
What are you doing? Like, attack the right people, for crying out loud. Look. Fireball that idiot. Oh, what are you doing? You're attacking him hand to hand. I said fireball. Okay. Fine, do shocking gasp then. Looks like I have to rescue... save the day once again. Okay.
Everyone, follow me.
How about you heal
Bonaparte.
this lame duck? Okay. It's not fully healed, but it's good enough. I think there's also another barrel there, and there might even be a crate over this side if I remember rightly. No, I don't remember rightly. So it's just this barrel here. I do remember there's a fair bit of loot in these, hidden back in these alleyways. Now that I remember it. Okay.
Great. It looks like the watch is already here. And the ones that aren't on our side.
Those watch. Moya must have gotten her hooks into them. Look, those turncoats are even keeping company with dock rats. Traitors. They're lower than the foulest of demons. At least Nishka doesn't pretend to be anything else. Those smug faces need some fists smashed into them, ready to crack their skulls.
I prefer something other than a fight that doesn't put our lives at
Who
risk.
needs to fight? I am a sorceress. They cross us, I'll turn them into torches. I could just set fire to something a few blocks over. Let the watch run off and deal with it. They don't look too bright. Then, we can take care of the thugs without the watch to back them up. Alright, keep your heads down and wait for the smoke.
Normally, Eleni offers to do that. But we'll see how it goes this time. I haven't done this before.
Fire! Everyone, run for your lives!
By the gods, not tonight. All right, men, move to it before the whole district goes up in flames.
Where do you think you're going? Moya's paying you to stay with us. Let the rest of the watch handle it.
You paid us to look the other way, not let the docks burn down. Just stay here. We'll be back soon enough.
That should do it. Not as fun as torching the Academy stables, but they'll likely have that fire under control pretty soon. They're split up for now, but we'll need to act fast.
Glad you didn't let it get too out of control. That fire could have been difficult
You
to
sound
rein
like
in.
one of my instructors. They didn't get it either. You're just lucky I helped you this time. Done preaching? If so, let's teach those thugs a lesson now that they don't have the watch to back them up.
Okay. Did I end up giving you back... No. Let's give you back that Wand of Stinking Cloud. I don't want you using it straight away, but you at least have it. And you can use it. Let's get you fireballing.
What?
While I do that, and we'll let the rest of the guys do as they want. You're not gonna last long, mate. You lasted longer than I thought. Don't let him get down to where he's got mates. Like those. Okay, I didn't want to have this happen just yet, but that's fine. So this is another gang that are trying to stop the weapons coming in themselves. What's going on here? We're just waiting for someone. Waiting behind a barricade armed to the teeth. We can't you go find someone else to interrogate? We're a little busy here. Tell me what I want to know. Maybe I'm not going to see what we're doing. Fine, if it'll get you off your backs. We hear Moya's gang is trying to smuggle in some weapons tonight. Word is she's planning a street war against you watch hounds. We can't let that happen. She'd drown the docks in blood, so we're going to make sure the shipment never gets to her. Diplomacy. Leave this problem to the watch. I don't want you getting hurt. Right, you watch hounds can't even keep your own building from burning down. We're not going anywhere. Then I'm going to have to arrest you. I've heard that before. Let's see you try. Damn it. I didn't want to have to do that. I have in the past been able to get through that fight without having to kill them all. But I have basically been able to convince them to leave. Okay, now we've got the City Watch back over here that we've got to deal with as well. We'll clean up all the mess later. And we're done. So quite a mess here. Let's clean it all up. Really don't like it when they run away like that. It makes it so hard to loot properly. Okay, that buff of mine disappeared, so let's put that back up. I think there's more buffs that I could apply. I could redo that one as well, I think. Oh no, that one's fine. I think it's this last one. I'm going to head over this way, not because I expect there to be anyone. This is where the watch were hanging out, trying to put out that fire. Because we took so long... Oh, there's one. Make that, there's 3. Or 4. Or 5. Casting days. Just thought Quora might have used... No, she's doing dazes, she's not using that. Damn. Melf's acid arrow. Hello, Baz. Okay, is there any stuff to pick up here? I think there's something around here, actually. I just want to check. Is that... No, it's not a body. I thought there was a crate or a barrel or something down there, but there isn't. So we'll come back around this way and grab that. Is that all of it? Yeah. Okay, now we're back down here. Clean up this area. Yeah, I don't really mind that we had to take those guys out. Look, here's the crate. We might just quickly rest over here if it'll let us. Yeah. Buff.
Yes.
Oh no, don't cast that on the crate. Cast that, and that, and that.
Dear John Queedy there.
What?
Okay, and quick save, and out we go. Okay. Let's clean up these remains. Short sword. Amulet. Master of Magic. Ooh. What does that do? Lesser Amulet of the Master. Oh, that's right. It's actually not Amulet of Master of Magic. It's the spell resistance is good, but the rest of those are actually meant for a thief. Short sword +1. Should start putting some of this stuff away. What's that? Oh, a trap. Necklace. Bullets, choking powder, arrows, crossbows, tangle traps, Alexandrite, bark skin, holy water, acid flask. Let's split that stack. Is there anyone else that really needs them?
Yes.
What?
No, but I'll give them to Cora because she has been getting hit a little bit. And quick save that, and we are through that little section. Yeah, there's a crate up here. Bowl of Commanding Water Elementals. Yes, that was the one that I gave to Eleni a while ago. One other playthrough that I did. And yeah, I really regretted it. Scroll unidentified. Just going to move out of that. And I'll get you to move out of there as well. Don't want to be caught in that. Actually, yeah. You're still... Oh no, you're an archer. That's alright. Oh, okay. Is this... Was that grease? What is this? Yeah, it is grease. I thought it was. I need to finish you off. There we go. Right. Gold pieces. Yeah, we're doing alright. How about you? This is the thing, not being an actual cleric, she doesn't, by default, heal people until they're in the middle of combat and almost dead. Is there anything I should have changed on... no, that was supposed to be on yourself. Let's have a look. Is there... Defense Master, Guard Distance, Open Locks, Stealthy, Automatic Hiding, Spellcasting is on Overkill, using Healing and Curative Items, Combat Mode, Summoning, Polymorph, Ranged, Back Away, Disable, Auto Summon Familiar, Auto Summon Animal Companion, Allied Damage, Peaceful Follow Party. What does allied damage actually do? Party members damage party members with area of effect spells to greater extent. Peaceful follow party. Self buff or heal. Yeah, that's on. Knockdown global. Auto set companion. Warlock. Yeah, I think I've got the best sort of settings there. Anyway.
Very well.
Where are we? We're there. Okay. Was there anything else? No, except for those remains there. Okay. Is there anyone just there? No, there isn't. Let's go down this side and have a look at this crate. Just a whole bunch of stuff that we'll stuff in our bag so it's out of the way. There we go. Let's come back around here. Okay, I think. Yeah, final battle. Let's do it, peeps. Step aside, we don't want to hurt a fellow watchman. You're actually helping Moira to smuggle the weapons in. Who's to say the docks will be worse off with her in control? Besides, she pays better than the city. Those weapons will be used against... So your loyalty is for sale to the highest bidder. It beats risking your life for scraps, but that's just me. Maybe the rest of the men feel differently. Why don't I ask? Anyone here want to beg out of this job tonight and give back the money we were paid? I have no choice but to stop you. The weapons will not reach Moya's hands. Looks like we'll be earning our pay after all tonight, men. Make sure there are no survivors.
Let me lead the way. You follow behind.
No, come on. Zoom out maybe. Let's... Fireball. You want to... What's fire burst? Fireball. To there. Kelgar.
Looks like we have company.
Enemies are near.
Kelgar.
Let's get him.
Cora, what are you doing?
You know nothing, Academy living, cantrip casting sock.
Fine, just do whatever the hell you want. You could have taken out half those guys with one fireball. Instead, now you're getting mugged. So that's that. We're taking this wagon back to the watch. The sooner we get it back, the sooner we get paid. Don't need to tell me twice. Come on, give me a hand. No, I'm not ready to go yet. If Nishka's here, she tries to convince you to steal off the wagon. And you know what? I'm almost tempted to look in the wagon. But let's have a look down here first of all and make sure that we've looted everything else that we can from the area. And I think we have. Now, I'm ready, let's go. If you let her, Nishka does find some interesting stuff on that. the slow loading screens again, unfortunately.
Lieutenant, what have you to report?
I ended the smuggling operation at the docks. The smuggled in goods were intended for a guild of thieves within the docks operating out of a warehouse near the merchant quarter.
It is as we suspected. Our informant was correct.
I will need you to report to the meeting point at once and deal with those who were intended to receive the shipment. I suspect they will be much easier to handle without the weapons they were meant to pick up. But be cautious. I also want you to keep an eye out for anything there that might shed more light on their smuggling operations. We've shut down one smuggling route, but they must have others. Fortune to you, Lieutenant, and see to it these men are dealt with.
You're heading into the heart of the smuggler's den. Show no mercy, we've got to put a stop to their activities if we want to bring order to the city. Where's the warehouse? You probably don't want to head back into back alley to get there. It's not a back entrance near the merchant quarter though. It's got a back entrance to the merchant quarter though. It might be a safer place to get in from. What am I supposed to do once I get in? Gather whatever information you find, smuggling routes, sources, customers, anything you can find that helps us put a stop to their activities. Any advice for me? You're probably going to find quite a few valuables in there, many of them stolen. Recover them and you might find yourself with a good share of gold. The watch will confiscate most of it, of course, but I don't think we'll be able to locate the original owners of everything in there. Farewell. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of here, I'm going to sell up all the stuff that I just got. The warehouse is on this same map on the so the warehouse is up here. I'm going to go around to Deacon and sell up all of this stuff. And then, actually I'm probably going to trigger one other little cutscene with another orphan girl. And then we'll go up to the warehouse, but then I think I'll stop outside the warehouse and take a break from this stream and we'll do it in the next one. So, can I see what you have for sale? Right, so let's open that, take everything out, put that back, put that back, put that back, put that back, and that back. I think everything else is fine. There's 10 charges, so we can summon a water elemental 10 times. It is sort of tempting to keep that, but I've got to remember that I've got it on me. And I've really got to be dedicated to actually using it. No, can't get rid of those, can't get rid of that. To you. Okay, let's chuck these back in here. Yeah, I'll keep that out for now. You still don't really have anything that I want, do you, Deacon? No. Not sure if any of these guys will benefit from...
Yes.
What did we give you? Vitality.
Yes.
And you've got natural armor +2 already, so no one else is going to benefit from that. Natural armor +2. I've already got my vitality +2. Okay, so let's come around this way. And so this is the Moonstone Mask. Used to be a house of ill repute, as the term is. It's been cleaned up a lot in those days. These guys here are going to give us a little cutscene. Here's the guy who sells crafting supplies. We're just going to do this little cutscene.
Why?
Excuse me.
As I was... Stop right there, kid! We've got ourselves a thief!
I was just running. I run fast.
What's this about a thief? Check your coin purse. And don't even think of moving, child.
Please, sir. I'm just running. Can I just leave?
What? Why, you're right. My coin purse is missing. You're going straight to the watch after you hand over that pouch.
What seems to be the problem?
This little thief is the problem. It's not safe to walk around anymore. Just last 10 day, I lost 10 gold to one of these scamps. And I'm not about to let this one off, even if she looks so innocent. Turn out your pockets, now!
That's fair enough. You don't know she's done anything.
But she's got to have taken it. If she's not hiding something, she has nothing to fear.
Do you have any proof at all? If you have none, what you're doing is wrong.
I blast it if you aren't right. But if I ever catch you, girl, you'll waste away in the stocks once the watchmen get you. I told you it wasn't her. Well, you're still out one coin purse. I don't see what you're so smug about.
Thank you. I owe you one.
Okay, so that gets us another little cutscene later on when we go back to the inn. What's it called? I don't recall now. We are going the right way here. Yes, we are. I'm not sure if I should be using Quora for this, or if I should switch back to Nishka. Nishka would be better for this in some ways, but I'm going to see if Quora is any help. But we're going to do that in the next stream. So for now, I'm going to save this. I don't think I've actually saved the Merchant's Quarter yet, which I should have done. Merchant's Quarter. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.